It's 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday that changed everything. My Honda Civic sits dead by the curb like roadkill, rain hammering the windshield while I stand there with oil-stained hands and a growing sense that this night is about to get a whole lot worse. The engine gave up with a theatrical wheeze right in front of Mrs. Driscoll's house, naturally, because that woman has a supernatural ability to witness every embarrassing moment in my life. My phone buzzes. Jessica, my wife of 15 years, texting from her precious gym. Pick me up in the Lexus. My trainer says I pushed too hard today. Need you here in 20 minutes. Her trainer. Tyler fucking Morrison, 28 years old, with abs that could grate cheese, and the kind of cocky smile that makes me want to introduce his face to my fist. But I'm a civilized man. I run an IT consultancy, pay my taxes, mow my lawn every Saturday. I don't punch people, no matter how much they deserve it. I grabbed the Lexus keys from my pocket. Jessica insisted we lease it last year for her professional image, and drive through the rain to Fit Zone, the overpriced gym where my wife spends more time than at home these days. The parking lot is nearly empty except for a few luxury cars that probably belong to people who think protein shakes are a food group. Inside, the front desk guard, some college kid with too much gel in his hair, hands me Jessica's gym bag. Her husband left this for her, he says. I stare at him. I'm her husband. The kid's face goes white. Oh shit. Oh no. Sorry, man. Some other guy dropped this off like 10 minutes ago. Said he was picking up his wife's stuff. My blood runs cold, but I don't let it show. Instead, I take the bag and walk toward the main workout area, my footsteps echoing on the polished concrete floor. Through the glass partition, I spot Jessica immediately. She's not exhausted from pushing too hard. She's laughing, her head thrown back in that genuine way she hasn't laughed with me in months. Tyler's standing close, too close, his hand resting on the small of her back as he demonstrates some stretching technique that looks suspiciously like foreplay. I watch for exactly 90 seconds, long enough to see him whisper something in her ear, long enough to see her blush and giggle like a teenager, long enough to see her check her phone, my text asking where she is, and then deliberately put it face down without responding. But here's the thing about me that everyone seems to forget. I spent 8 years in the Army before I became the mild-mannered IT guy who fixes everyone's computers and pretends not to notice when his wife lies about working late. I learned patience there. I learned to observe. Most importantly, I learned that the best revenge isn't hot. It's ice cold and surgically precise. So I don't storm in. I don't make a scene. Instead, I walk back to the front desk and hand the bag to the confused kid. Tell Mrs. Patterson her husband stopped by, her real husband, the one who pays for her gym membership. Then I drive home through the rain, my mind already calculating. Back in our pristine suburban kitchen, Jessica loves everything to match, from the granite countertops to the coordinated dish towels. I pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon and start thinking. The house feels different now, like I'm seeing it through new eyes. All those little signs I'd dismissed suddenly form a pattern. The way Jessica started buying new workout clothes every week. How she began showering at the gym instead of at home. The mysterious phone calls she takes in the garage, claiming it's work stuff. I'm not stupid. I'm just a man who wanted to believe his wife when she said she loved him. My phone rings. Jessica, finally. Evan, where are you? I've been waiting for 20 minutes. Car trouble, I say, keeping my voice steady. Had to take it to the shop. How was your workout? Oh, the usual. Tyler really pushed me today. I'm exhausted. She's a good liar, I'll give her that. If I hadn't seen her 5 minutes ago, I might have believed the tired act. Can you come get me now? Sure thing, honey. Be right there. But I don't go right there. Instead, I sit in my kitchen and drink bourbon, while Jessica waits in the rain. Let her wonder where I am. Let her worry. Let her call Tyler for a ride, and see how eager he is to help when it's not convenient for him. 45 minutes later, I drive back to the gym. Jessica is standing under the entrance awning, arms crossed, looking like a drowned cat. Her perfect blonde hair is plastered to her head, and her expensive workout clothes are soaked through. She gets in the car without a word, radiating fury. Where the hell were you? She snaps. Traffic, I lie smoothly. You know how it gets in the rain. She studies my face, looking for cracks, but I've had years of practice hiding my thoughts from her. Finally, she turns away and stares out the window. I'm tired. Can we just go home? Of course, sweetheart. The drive home is silent except for the rain and the rhythmic thump of the windshield wipers. I can feel Jessica's anger radiating from the passenger seat, but underneath it, there's something else. Guilt, maybe. Or fear that I know more than I'm letting on. She's right to be afraid. At home, Jessica disappears upstairs for a shower, while I sit in my home office, staring at my computer screen. This room is my sanctuary. 3 monitors, enough processing power to run a small country, and a level of organization that would make a Swiss banker weep with joy. Everything has its place here, unlike the chaos Jessica has made of my life. I start with the obvious stuff. Phone records, credit card statements, bank accounts. It's amazing what you can find when you know where to look and have administrator access to all the family accounts. Jessica thinks I'm just the guy who fixes her laptop when it gets slow. She forgets that I built our entire digital life from the ground up. The evidence is all there, laid out in neat columns of data. Charges at restaurants I've never been to. Hotel stays on days she claimed to be at work conferences. Text messages to numbers I don't recognize. Sent at times when she was supposedly asleep next to me, but the real smoking gun is hidden in her car. While Jessica showers, I slip out to the garage and search the Lexus. Tucked under the driver's seat, wrapped in a gym towel, is a second phone. A cheap prepaid thing that exists for one purpose only. The text history reads like a bad romance novel. Tyler's messages are full of gym bro poetry about Jessica's amazing body and how much he needs her. Jessica's responses are even worse. Breathless declarations of love and detailed descriptions of what she wants to do to him next time they're alone. The most recent exchange is from this afternoon. Tyler, can't wait to hold you tonight. Same place? Jessica, yes. Evan thinks I'm at book club. God, I hate lying to him, but I can't help myself with you. Tyler, he seems like a nice guy. Almost feel bad for him. Jessica, don't. He's boring. You make me feel alive again. I read through months of messages, each one a small knife in my chest. They've been planning this for a long time. Hotel rooms, weekend getaways when I thought she was visiting her sister, even meetings in our own house when I was traveling for work. But what really gets me is the casual cruelty of it. The way they joke about my cooking, my clothes, my habits. How Tyler calls me the husband, like I'm some annoying obstacle instead of a human being. How Jessica complains about having to pretend she still loves me. I take photos of everything with my own phone, then carefully return the burner to its hiding place. Evidence secured. I go back inside and pour another bourbon. Jessica comes downstairs in her robe, hair wrapped in a towel, looking like the woman I fell in love with 20 years ago. For a moment, I almost forget what I just discovered. Almost. You okay? She asks, settling onto the couch next to me. You seem quiet tonight. Just thinking about work stuff, I say. The Morrison account is giving me headaches. She doesn't catch the irony of the name. Well, don't let it stress you out too much. Life's too short to worry about things you can't control. I look at her, really look at her, and wonder when she became a stranger. When did the woman who used to laugh at my terrible jokes and fall asleep holding my hand turn into someone who could lie to my face with such practiced ease? You're absolutely right, I tell her. Life is too short. She smiles and kisses my cheek. I love you, Evan. The lie hangs in the air between us like poison gas. I smile back and say, I love you too, Jess. But inside, something cold and calculating is taking shape. If Jessica wants to play games, I'll play games. But she's about to learn that I'm much better at them than she realizes. The old Evan, the one who believed in marriage vows and second chances, died tonight in that gym parking lot. The man sitting here now is someone new. Someone who's tired of being the nice guy who finishes last. Tomorrow, the real fun begins. Wednesday morning arrives, with the kind of crisp autumn air that usually puts me in a good mood. Today, it feels like the universe is giving me perfect weather for what I'm about to do. Jessica is already gone. Early client meeting, she claimed, though I know from her secret phone that she's actually having breakfast with Tyler at some overpriced cafe downtown. I sit at my kitchen table with coffee and a legal pad, planning my approach like a military operation. The key to good revenge is patience and precision. Rush in guns blazing, and you end up looking like the crazy ex-husband. But take your time, gather intelligence, and strike at exactly the right moments. That's how you destroy someone completely. First order of business. I call my lawyer, David Chen, who handled our house purchase 5 years ago. David's one of those guys who looks like a teddy bear, but has the killer instincts of a shark. Perfect for what I need. Evan, good to hear from you. How's Jessica? That's actually why I'm calling, I say. Hypothetically speaking, if someone wanted to protect their assets in case of a divorce, what would be the smartest moves? There's a pause. David's too smart not to read between the lines. Hypothetically, that someone would want to document all marital assets, secure separate accounts for business purposes, and make sure they have copies of all financial records. Also hypothetically, they'd want to be very careful about their own behavior during any difficult period. Understood. Can we meet this afternoon? I'll make time. And Evan, document everything. Hypothetically, after hanging up, I spend the morning going through our house with a fine-tooth comb. I photograph every piece of expensive jewelry Jessica owns, every piece of art, every receipt I can find. I download years of financial records and store them on an encrypted drive that I hide in my office safe. Then I get creative. Jessica's weakness has always been her image. She's obsessed with what people think of her, especially the other real estate agents at her firm. She's worked for 15 years to build a reputation as the successful, happily married woman who has it all together. That reputation is about to become a liability. I start small. A few carefully placed comments to our neighbors about Jessica's long hours and how I barely see her anymore. Nothing accusatory, just the concerned husband worried about his workaholic wife. Mrs. Driscoll, our neighbor and the neighborhood gossip queen, eats it up. "Oh, I've noticed," she says when I mention Jessica's late nights while we're both getting our mail. "She comes home so late sometimes, and I saw her leaving at odd hours too. Sunday morning at 6 a.m.? Who has client meetings on Sunday morning?" "Real estate is demanding," I say with a tired sigh. "Sometimes I wonder if she loves that job more than she loves me." "Oh," Mrs. Driscoll's eyes light up like Christmas morning. "This is exactly the kind of drama she lives for." "Well, marriage takes work, Evan. You both have to prioritize it." "You're absolutely right. I agree. Maybe I should surprise her at work more often, or at the gym. Show her I care about her interests." By Thursday, I'm ready for phase 2. I drive to Jessica's real estate office during lunch, carrying a bouquet of flowers and wearing my most innocent smile. The receptionist, a young woman named Katie who's always liked me, greets me with enthusiasm. "Evan, how sweet of you to surprise Jessica. She's not here, though. She's at a property showing." "Oh, that's okay," I say, setting the flowers on Katie's desk. "Maybe you could give these to her and tell her I stopped by around noon?" "Of course. She'll be so happy. You two are such a cute couple." I check my watch. According to Jessica's secret phone, she's at a hotel with Tyler right now, not showing any property. The flowers will create a nice little problem for her when she gets back to the office an hour late with no good explanation for where she's been. But the real masterstroke comes Friday evening. Jessica announces she's going to her monthly book club meeting, the same book club that, according to her phone, she's been skipping for months to meet Tyler. "What book are you discussing this month?" I ask casually. "Oh, she pauses, clearly scrambling. "It's that new thriller everyone's talking about, Gone Girl." "Interesting choice. I read that one last year. What did you think of the twist with Amy faking her own death?" Jessica's face goes blank. She clearly hasn't read it. "Oh, we're not that far yet. We're taking it slow." "Right. Well, have fun. Say hi to Brenda and the other ladies for me." After she leaves, I wait exactly 30 minutes, then drive to Brenda's house. Brenda Martinez has been Jessica's friend since college and hosts the book club. She's also completely unaware that Jessica has been using their group as a cover story. I ring the doorbell with a plate of cookies, Jessica's favorite recipe that I learned to make for her birthday years ago. Brenda answers the door looking surprised. "Evan, what are you doing here?" "I made too many cookies," I say with a sheepish grin. "Thought you ladies might enjoy them with your book discussion." Jessica left her phone at home, so I figured I'd drop them off myself. Brenda's confusion is immediate and obvious. "Book club. Evan, we canceled book club 3 months ago. Sarah moved to Portland, and Jennifer got too busy with her new baby. We haven't met since July." I let my face show just the right amount of confusion and concern. "That's strange. Jessica said she was coming here tonight for your Gone Girl discussion." "Gone Girl?" Brenda laughs. "We read that 2 years ago." "Evan, are you sure Jessica said she was coming here?" I can see the wheels turning in Brenda's head. She's putting together the same pieces I did. and she doesn't like the picture they're forming. Maybe I misunderstood, I say slowly. She's been so stressed with work lately. Maybe she said something else and I heard wrong. But Brenda's not buying it, and we both know it. Evan, when's the last time you and Jessica really talked? I mean, really talked. I thought we talked all the time, I say, letting a note of sadness creep into my voice. But lately, it feels like we're ships passing in the night. She's always at the gym, or showing properties, or at meetings. Brenda invites me in for coffee, and we spend an hour talking. She tells me she's been worried about Jessica, that she seems different lately. More secretive, more distant from her old friends. I play the concerned husband perfectly, asking if Brenda thinks Jessica might be having some kind of midlife crisis. By the time I leave, I can see that Brenda is genuinely worried about both of us. More importantly, she's going to call Jessica tomorrow, with questions that my wife won't be able to answer easily. The weekend brings new opportunities. Saturday morning, Jessica announces she's going to the gym for a special training session with Tyler. She'll be gone for 3 hours, she says, because they're working on a comprehensive fitness plan. That's great, honey, I say. Tyler seems really dedicated to helping you reach your goals. He is, Jessica agrees, not catching the double meaning. He's very thorough. After she leaves, I call my old army buddy Frank Rodriguez, who now works as a private investigator. Frank owes me a favor from when I helped him set up his computer systems, and he's exactly the kind of guy who doesn't ask too many questions. I need surveillance on my wife, I tell him straight up. I think she's cheating, and I need proof. Shit, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can help you out. What do you need? Photos, video if possible, times, dates, locations. I want everything documented. Consider it done. I'll start today. While Frank handles the surveillance, I focus on the digital front. I installed tracking software on Jessica's laptop and tablet. Nothing illegal, since their family devices registered to me. I also set up monitoring on our home Wi-Fi network to track what websites are being accessed and when. The data that comes back is devastating. Jessica's been researching divorce lawyers, looking up articles about how to leave your husband, and even browsing apartment listings in the city. She's not just having an affair, she's planning her exit strategy. But the most damaging discovery comes from her email. Jessica's been corresponding with her sister Lisa, who lives in California, about her situation. The emails are a goldmine of admissions. I know I should just leave Evan, but it's complicated. The house, the business, our daughter Maya. I can't just walk away from everything we've built. But I can't keep pretending either. Tyler makes me feel things I haven't felt in years. I feel terrible about lying. But what choice do I have? Evan would never understand. He'd try to fight for the marriage, and I just don't want that anymore. I want to be with Tyler. The hardest part is that Evan's not a bad guy. He's just boring, predictable, safe. Tyler is exciting and dangerous and makes me feel alive. Is that terrible of me? Reading these emails is like being stabbed repeatedly. But I force myself to screenshot every one. This is ammunition I'll need later. Sunday brings the first real confrontation. Jessica's supposed to be at an open house all afternoon. But Frank calls me with an update. She's at Tyler's apartment, has been there for 2 hours, and from what he can see through the windows, they're not discussing real estate. I decide it's time to escalate. I drive to Tyler's building, a trendy high-rise downtown that screams, I make too much money training rich housewives. The doorman recognizes me, because I've dropped Jessica off here before. She claimed she was visiting a client who lived in the building. Afternoon, Mr. Patterson. Here to see your wife? That's right, I say with a smile. She's upstairs with Tyler Morrison, apartment 12B. Could you ring up and let them know I'm here? The doorman looks confused, but complies. I watch his face change as someone answers the phone upstairs. There's a long pause, then frantic whispering, then Tyler's voice saying something I can't hear. Mr. Patterson, they said to give them a few minutes. They're in the middle of a training session. A training session, I repeat, in his apartment. On a Sunday afternoon, the doorman's face is bright red now. He's figured out what's really going on, and he's mortified to be part of it. Should I tell them you'll wait? No, I say calmly. Just tell them Evan Patterson stopped by to surprise his wife. Tell them I'll catch up with them later. I leave without going upstairs, but the damage is done. Jessica and Tyler now know that I know where they are and what they're doing. More importantly, they know I'm not going to keep pretending I don't see what's happening. My phone starts ringing before I even reach my car. Jessica, panicking. Evan. The doorman said you stopped by Tyler's building? That's right. I thought I'd surprise you and see this training session you've been talking about. It's not. We were just. Tyler has specialized equipment in his apartment for advanced workouts. I'm sure he does, I say dryly. Specialized equipment, is that what we're calling it now? There's a long silence. Then, what's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not as stupid as you think I am, Jessica. It means I know exactly what kind of training you've been doing. And it means we need to have a very serious conversation when you get home. I hang up before she can respond. Let her stew in that for a while. Let her and Tyler panic and try to figure out how much I know and what I'm planning to do about it. Because the truth is, I'm just getting started. Jessica comes home that Sunday evening, looking like she's walking to her own execution. She finds me in the living room, sitting in my favorite chair, with a glass of bourbon and a manila folder in my lap. The folder is just full of random papers, but she doesn't know that. As far as she's concerned, it could contain anything. We need to talk, she says, trying to sound authoritative, but failing miserably. Yes, we do. I gesture to the couch across from me. Sit, she perches on the edge of the cushions, like she's ready to bolt. Her hands are shaking slightly, and she keeps glancing at the folder. Evan, I know how this looks, but how does it look, Jessica? The question stops her cold. She was ready with some prepared speech, but now she has to actually think about what she's going to say. I can see her calculating, trying to figure out how much I know and how much she can still deny. It looks like I was at Tyler's apartment, she says carefully. And why were you at Tyler's apartment on a Sunday afternoon when you told me you were working an open house? Because, she takes a shaky breath, because I lied to you. It's the first honest thing she's said to me in months, and somehow that makes it worse. About what? About Tyler, about what we've been doing, about how I feel. I take a sip of bourbon and wait. Sometimes the best interrogation technique is just letting people talk themselves into a corner. I'm having an affair, she says finally, with Tyler. It's been going on for 4 months. 4 months. I repeat it like I'm tasting the words. 4 months of lying to my face every single day. Yes. 4 months of making me feel like I was losing my mind when I suspected something was wrong. Yes. 4 months of sleeping in our bed, eating meals I cooked, letting me tell you I love you while you were fucking another man. She flinches at the crude language. Good. She should flinch. It wasn't supposed to happen, she says weakly. It just did. Bullshit. I lean forward, and she shrinks back. Affairs don't just happen. They're a series of choices. You chose to start flirting with him. You chose to give him your number. You chose to meet him outside the gym. You chose to kiss him. You chose to fuck him. Every single step was a choice, and you chose to betray our marriage. Tears are streaming down her face now, but I feel nothing, no sympathy, no desire to comfort her. The woman I loved is gone, replaced by this stranger who destroyed my life with her choices. You're right, she whispers. I chose this, all of it. Why? The simple question seems to break something inside her. Because I'm not happy, Evan. I haven't been happy for years. We're like roommates, not lovers. We go through the motions, but there's no passion, no excitement. With Tyler, I feel alive again. So instead of talking to me about it, instead of suggesting counseling or working on our marriage, you decided to sneak around behind my back. Would you have listened? Really? When's the last time we had a real conversation about anything other than bills or schedules or Maya's college plans? She has a point, and I hate her for it. So this is my fault? No, it's both our faults. We let our marriage die, and I found someone who made me remember what it felt like to be wanted. I stand up and walk to the window, looking out at our perfect suburban street. Mrs. Driscoll is walking her dog, probably hoping to catch some drama from our house. She's going to get her wish soon enough. What do you want, Jessica? Do you want a divorce? Do you want to work on our marriage? Do you want me to pretend this never happened? I don't know. Her voice is small, defeated. I love Tyler, but I love you too. Differently, but I do love you. You have a funny way of showing it. I know. I know I've hurt you, and I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Evan. I turn back to face her. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't give me back the 4 months you spent making a fool of me. Sorry doesn't erase the fact that you were planning to leave me. Her face goes white. How do you... I know about the emails to Lisa. I know about the apartment hunting. I know about the divorce lawyer consultations. I know everything, Jessica. She stares at me like I've grown a second head. You've been spying on me? I've been protecting myself from my lying, cheating wife. There's a difference. You violated my privacy. The sheer audacity of her indignation is breathtaking. I violated your privacy? You've been living a double life for 4 months, and you're upset about privacy? That's different. How is that different? She opens her mouth, then closes it again. There's no good answer to that question, and we both know it. What happens now? She asks. Now you have a choice to make, I say, sitting back down. You can end things with Tyler and we can try to work on our marriage, or you can leave. But you don't get to have both. You don't get to keep me as your safety net while you explore your options with your boyfriend. It's not that simple. It is exactly that simple. Choose. She looks at me for a long moment, and I can see her weighing her options. The smart play would be to choose the marriage, to end things with Tyler and try to rebuild what we had. But Jessica's not thinking smart right now. She's thinking with her heart, or her hormones, or whatever it is that makes middle-aged women throw away their lives for personal trainers with abs. I can't just stop seeing Tyler, she says. I love him. Then we're done. I stand up again, done with this conversation. You have 2 weeks to find somewhere else to live. I'll sleep in the guest room until then. Evan, wait. No, you made your choice. Now live with it. I start to walk away, but she grabs my arm. What about Maya? What about our daughter? What about her? You should have thought about Maya before you started fucking your trainer. Don't talk to me like that. I'll talk to you however I want. You're not my wife anymore, Jessica. You're just the woman who used to be my wife before she decided to blow up our family for some gym rat with nice abs. She slaps me, hard. The sound echoes through our living room like a gunshot. I touch my cheek, feeling the sting, and smile. Feel better? No, she whispers. Good, because that's the last time you'll ever hit me. Touch me again and I'll have you arrested for assault. You wouldn't. Try me. She sees something in my face that makes her step back. Good. She's starting to understand that the man she married, the one who would have taken her back, forgiven her, tried to make things work, is gone. In his place is someone harder, colder, and much less forgiving. I need time to think, she says. You've had 4 months to think. Time's up. Please, Evan, don't do this. Don't throw away 15 years of marriage. I'm not throwing it away. You already did that. She starts crying again, but this time it feels manipulative, calculated. She's trying to make me feel sorry for her, to make me the bad guy for not being understanding about her affair. It's not going to work. I'll pack a bag tonight, she says finally. I'll stay at Lisa's for a few days while I figure things out. Lisa lives in California. I'll find somewhere local. Tyler's place? She doesn't answer, which is answer enough. Perfect. Give my regards to your boyfriend. That night, I watch from the bedroom window as Jessica loads a suitcase into the Lexus. She keeps looking back at the house, maybe hoping I'll come running after her, begging her to stay. But I don't move from the window. I just watch her drive away to start her new life with Tyler. Then I pour myself another bourbon and start planning phase 3 of my revenge. Because if Jessica thinks this is over, she's about to learn how wrong she can be. The next morning, I call in sick to work and spend the day making phone calls. First to David Chen, my lawyer, to start divorce proceedings. Then to Frank Rodriguez to expand his surveillance operation. Then to a few other people who are going to be very helpful in the coming weeks. By noon, I have a plan. It's elegant, thorough, and completely legal. It's also going to destroy Jessica and Tyler in ways they can't even imagine yet. Phase 1 was discovery. Phase 2 was confrontation. Phase 3 is going to be total war, and I'm going to win. Maya comes home from school that Monday to find me sitting at the kitchen table with divorce papers spread out like a battle plan. My 17-year-old daughter takes one look at the documents and immediately starts crying. Dad, what's happening? Mom texted me that she's staying at a friend's house, but she won't tell me why. I look at my daughter, Jessica's eyes, my stubborn chin, and the kind of innocence that's about to be shattered, and feel my first moment of genuine regret about this whole situation. Maya didn't choose this. She doesn't deserve to be collateral damage in her parents' war. Your mother and I are getting divorced, I say as gently as I can. She's been having an affair with her personal trainer. Maya's face goes through about 6 different emotions in 3 seconds. Shock, denial, anger, confusion, and finally a kind of tired acceptance that breaks my heart. Tyler? She asks. You know about Tyler? I'm not blind, Dad. I've seen the way she acts when he texts her, and she's been different lately. Happier, but also guilty? I hoped I was wrong. Smart kid, Smarter than her old man, apparently, since she figured it out before I did. I'm sorry you have to deal with this, I tell her. None of this is your fault. Are you okay? She asks, which is such a mature question from a teenager that it almost breaks me. I'm angry, I say honestly, and hurt, but I'll be okay. What about Mom? Is she going to marry Tyler? I don't know, sweetheart. That's between her and Tyler. Maya sits down across from me and looks at the divorce papers. This is really happening, isn't it? Yeah, it's really happening. She nods slowly. Okay, what do you need me to do? Just be a kid. Let me handle the adult stuff. I'm not a kid anymore, Dad. I'm 17. I can handle more than you think. She's right, of course. Maya's always been mature for her age, probably because Jessica and I both worked so much when she was younger. She learned to be independent early. All right, I say. Here's what's going to happen. Your mom is going to try to make me the bad guy in all this. She's going to say I'm being unreasonable, that I should forgive her, that I'm breaking up the family out of spite. Are you? The question catches me off guard. Am I what? Being unreasonable? Breaking up the family out of spite? I think about it for a moment. Maybe a little. But your mother made choices that led us here. I'm just responding to those choices. By destroying her? How do you know I'm planning to destroy her? Maya gives me a look that's pure teenage skepticism. Dad, I've lived with you for 17 years. I know your revenge face. This is your revenge face. Christ, even my own daughter can see right through me. Your mother hurt me very badly, I say carefully. And she's going to try to hurt me more before this is over. I'm just making sure I'm prepared. Prepared how? Let's just say I've been documenting things. Maya studies my face for a long moment. You know what? Good. She deserves whatever you're planning. Maya, no, Dad. I'm serious. I love Mom, but what she did to you, to us, is unforgivable. She broke our family for some random guy with nice arms. She deserves consequences. I'm simultaneously proud of my daughter's loyalty and worried about the anger I can see building in her. The last thing I want is for this divorce to turn Maya into a bitter, cynical person who doesn't trust love. Just promise me you won't let this make you hate love, I tell her. Your mom and I, we had good years, real love. It just wasn't enough, and